Hi, good morning. Welcome to the sports review segment of Breakfast Daily. My name is Nathan Carl. Let me say good morning to Kweku and Frema. Hi, guys. Good morning.
Hi, Nathan. Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right.
The morning after the night
far
before.
better than Man United players are feeling. Far better. Anyway, let's start off with the Black Stars. And yesterday, the AFCON 2023 qualifying draw was done. The team now knows its journey potentially to Cote d'Ivoire next year for the AFCON. Now, Ghana will take on Madagascar, Angola, and the Central African Republic for a ticket to the AFCON. 2 teams from this group will qualify to the competition. Now, there are 12 groups of 48 teams. So, in the end, 24 teams will make it to Cote d'Ivoire next year, including the hosts, who are also in the qualifying series. But their place is automatic, so they are only playing for fun, as it turns out. so that's Ghana's group. Let's have a look at the full draw. Like I said, there were 12 groups that were finally put together. There you have it, groups A to group L. Very interesting teams in there. The big boys are all there. The second-rate teams are all there. And like I said earlier, 2 teams from each group will qualify. Now, the group that has Cote d'Ivoire in there, which is Group H, will have 1 team technically qualifying. Cote d'Ivoire already have booked their tickets, but they are just playing it for playing sake. Now, if they top the group, hooray. If they finish last, they qualify. Then 1 other team from this group will make it to the competition. So, very interesting stories put out by CAF. Now, the draw was held at the Super Sports Studios in South Africa. The first time that such a draw is being held in a TV studio. Usually, CAF would hold it in their conference room somewhere in Egypt, but they decided to switch things around and hold it in South Africa. So Ghana's group E, Madagascar, Angola, and the Central African Republic. So
But Nathan, you know, one of the papers said it was a tricky group. Why that?
Well, because, you know, in the last few years, teams have improved. We saw what Comoros did to us a few months ago in Cameroon.
But it wasn't Comoros, it was us. Who were the problem?
So you cannot say, oh, that's an easy draw. If you look at it on paper, it looks like a draw that the Black Stars shouldn't have major problems with. But
could be tricky.
But it could be tricky. So you know the Black Stars qualifying for the AFCON in the last few years has not been that much of a problem. If you want to point out a problem, is trying to win an AFCON since 1982. So we wish the Black Stars the very best.
Were you born?
No, I wasn't born yet.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
I wasn't born yet. So yeah, that's the AFCON. The
I was playing
qualifying
Chascale at that time.
Wow. Wow. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So the Black Stars will have to get their qualifying campaign started in June. So that's when the qualifiers will begin in June. And like I said yesterday when I was presenting the segment, it forms part of the bigger, idea for the Blacks. Remember, they are playing in the World Cup later. So all these qualifiers and friendlies are always a means of getting the team ready for the World Cup. So that's it for the AFCON 2023 draw. Black Stars in Group E, quite interesting. Angola, Madagascar, and the Central African Republic. Now, let's move on. Now, one player who could potentially play for Ghana or England is Arsenal forward Eddie Nketiah. Yesterday, he was on the latest episode of the Beautiful Game podcast. It was shared on YouTube. And he was talking about whether or not he would play for Ghana or England. He had a few things to say over what his future career in international football potentially looks like, especially as Ghana has qualified for the World Cup. And there are conversations with his name in there that maybe we should bring him into the team. But this is what Eddie Nketiah had to say yesterday on the Beautiful Game podcast.
My parents are both Ghanaian of Ghana heritage, so yeah, of course it's a possibility. I think I'm open to both, whether it's playing for Ghana and obviously England as well. Like I said, I've played through the youth team, so naturally, when I was obviously younger, it just made sense. Obviously, they called me up to go and play for them. So obviously, it's good. Obviously, being from Ghana, you're obviously happy that they qualified for the World Cup. Obviously, I know players like Thomas. I'm happy for them as well. So. Listen, it's always good to have that opportunity to potentially do that.
Has Thomas been in your ear? Come on, need some kenke as well.
He has, to be fair. And I think, like you said, the situation I'm in is kind of like, that's priority first, like my club situation. You got to know what you're doing for the season. There's no point looking too far ahead when there's something a big decision in your career coming in front. So I've kind of always been consistent when I've had those talks, or potentially to put that across that, like, at the moment my full focus is obviously my club and making sure I sort out things for next season. And then obviously before once that's finished, then I can really sit down with my family and have that kind of discussion. So I'll just say it's open to both, you know, like I'm not closing the door to anything. And obviously,
they didn't get here. Will he play for Ghana? Will he play for England? So essentially what he's saying is that he has the chance to play for either Ghana or England. He will think about it a little later. His main concern now is to sort out his club future at Arsenal. Now, he's played only 14 games this season under manager Mikel Arteta. He's not happy. He's turned down a contract offer from Arsenal. He's trying to think about his club future first. And then you see whether he'll play for Ghana.
He's not going to play for Ghana. Ask now, you play for them. What have we done?
But, you know, I always say that it's always an interesting time when, like, Ghana qualifies for the World Cup. And all of a sudden, all these guys now start to remember that, right? We have the Ghanaian side. We have the Ghanaian side. We want to play for.
They should stay there.
We'll see. We'll wait and see. Edin Ketia, interesting. But his name has been mentioned there. And the stories, and from what I know, the GFA is kind of chewing on the idea. Should we reach out? Should we not reach out? What do we do? So we'll see. His parents are Ghanaian. So
yeah, why didn't he come to do the qualifiers?
Because
he wasn't called.
He wasn't
called. Get a call up.
He wasn't invited. And I don't think then he probably would have said something. Like I said, his main attention now is trying to secure his future with Arsenal. I don't think he's really bothered about qualifying. But now that the team has made it to the World Cup,
it's my issue. I should do the dirty work for you to come and enjoy.
But I say you didn't call me, so you can't say that I wouldn't
have come.
So don't
call him.
But not everybody who plays the qualifiers plays in the World Cup. It's happened so many times. So you never know. The World Cup is in November. Between now and then, things can change. But let's stay in England because there was an exciting Premier League game at Anfield last night.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
It was supposed to have been a grudge match, but it turned out to be one strong man pummeling the other guy. It wasn't funny. It was Liverpool 4, Man United 0 at Anfield. Luis Diaz after 4 minutes. Sadio Mane scored. Mo Salah scored twice, and it was party time as Liverpool handed Man United yet another loss. So they've put 9 past Man United this season already. Hey!
I'm not laughing, you know, but it is funny, but I'm not laughing, you know. And I am with you on this one. You know how they say an enemy of an enemy is a friend.
Yeah.
So this is your wife. I was supposed to everybody against Man U.
So that's the story. So Liverpool on top of the table, at least until Man City play Brighton later this evening. So that's the story. Now, the game generated all kinds of conversations. Man United are in crisis. They've always been in crisis. They've been in crisis for the last 10 years. Would they change the team? Their manager after the game, and I think Ralph Rangnick granted probably the most honest interview any manager can grant. He said, look here, let's not kid ourselves. Liverpool are 10 times better than Man United. And until Man United start thinking and acting like Liverpool, they'll be losing 4-0, 5-0 at Anfield. Anyway, let's have a look at the games that will be played later this evening. There are a raft of Premier League matches that will be played this evening. The star game is at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Arsenal. And Man United fans will be watching this with a lot of interest. They will hope that Chelsea will do them a favour. The other game will be between Everton and Leicester, Newcastle and Palace, and Man City will be playing against Brighton. Man City, I hear, had faint hopes of United doing them a favour, but after 4 minutes, they said, look here, we'll do our own work. We don't need United.
You know, so yesterday, someone tweeted, you know, and the person said, I think it was during the Man U match, person was like, should we start smiling or should we small Man United fans? You know, because it looked like we were going to be laughing at you from the way things were going. You know that
it just wasn't going to work. So the live game tonight is between Chelsea and Arsenal. That game is live on Citi Derby at Stamford Bridge at 6:45. It should be fun and stuff. And then Man City will play at 7. Liverpool will have an eye on that game. They will also pray that Brighton will do them a favour and slow Man City down so they don't go back on top of the Premier League table.
All right, thank you,
Nathan. Thank you very much.
So those of you who like football, you see how it's going, and pray for your teams.
Really?
Tonight.
I said I supported you a little bit.
No, Brighton is not a team that you should worry about at all.
Well, Nathan said these days you can't be too sure, you know. So we won't do too notes. Thank you very much, Nathan. This is Breakfast Daily. We'll be right back.